Most hated? Really? David Moyes might be outspoken, but is he that bad? We're breaking down the controversy layer by layer, so, besides stirring up football wars, he is also a legend with over 600 Premier League matches under his belt. Let's take a closer look at who David Moyes really is and what's got everyone worked up. Born on April 25, 1963, David is a Scottish football figure who's played and managed at the top levels, most recently running the show at Premier League club West Ham United. Before that, he managed a bunch of teams, including Preston North End, Everton, Manchester United, Real Sociedad, and Sunderland. Moyes kicked off his playing career as a centre-back with Celtic, where he earned a championship medal. After that, he bounced around teams like Cambridge United, Bristol City, Shrewsbury Town, and Dunfermline Athletic before hanging up his boots at Preston North End. Not ready to leave football behind, he shifted gears to coaching and eventually took over as Preston's manager in 1998. In 2002, Moyes moved to Everton, replacing Walter Smith. After Everton, Moyes had a brief and somewhat turbulent tenure at Manchester United, followed by short spells at Real Sociedad and then Sunderland, where he resigned after the team was relegated. It is also here where he saw his very first major downfall. The thing is, Moyes has a pretty solid track record. He led Everton for over a decade, earning a reputation for steady, consistent football, but it wasn't all sunshine and rainbows. This is where things get dicey. In 2017, after a particularly rough match for Sunderland, the team Moyes was managing at the time, he made an absolutely jaw-dropping comment to a female reporter. He suggested, and I quote, that she might get a slap. Unsurprisingly, the backlash was swift and severe. He was fined £30,000 by the FA, and the incident really tarnished his image. This wasn't the only time Moyes found himself in hot water. More recently, during the Euro 2024 qualifiers, he stirred up a whole other debate. It's less about his actions and more about his outspokenness, shall we say. During the Euro 2024 qualifiers, Scotland, the team Moyes passionately supports, had a penalty appeal waved away in a crucial match. It was a moment that could have changed the course of the game, potentially even their qualification chances. This sparked a massive debate across the football world. Pundits, fans, and even fellow managers were all weighing in. Some agreed with Moyes, citing replays and arguing that it was a clear penalty. Others thought he was overreacting, playing the blame game instead of focusing on his team's performance. The controversy even spilled over into social media, with hashtags like #Moyes and Justice for Scotland trending for days. It was a reminder that in football, even the smallest decisions can have huge consequences and that passions run deep, especially when it comes to international competitions. Whether you agree with Moyes or not, you can't deny that he's never one to shy away from speaking his mind. This incident just goes to show that even when he's not directly involved, he still has a knack for finding himself at the centre of controversy. But don't you think it's an exaggeration to call him the most hated player? Of course it is, because in reality, keeping his controversies aside, he truly is a living legend. The lad knows how to play, he can manage a team, and will surely call you out if you wrong him. Now, if that doesn't make you a legend, I don't know what will. Let's start a bit with his career life. David Moyes started his career at Icelandic club IBV, playing with the youth team in 1978, before moving on to play for several clubs including Celtic, where he won a championship and made 24 league appearances, and Preston North End. Moyes also began coaching while playing for Shrewsbury Town in 1987, working part-time at Concord College. He later played for Dunfermline Athletic and was part of the team that reached the 1991 Scottish League Cup final. Overall, Moyes made over 530 league appearances before transitioning to coaching full-time at Preston, where he eventually became the manager in 1998. Then, his managerial career at Preston North End began in a challenging period, but he managed to avoid relegation and even led the team to the Division 2 title. Moyes moved to Everton in 2002, declaring it the People's Club of Liverpool, reflecting his connection to the city's community. His time at Everton was marked by significant signings and moderate success, ending in several UEFA Cup appearances and a stable position in the Premier League. Moyes took over as manager of Manchester United in 2013 after Sir Alex Ferguson retired, a role he held for less than a year due to a series of poor performances and heavy defeats. Despite the initial high hopes, his time at United was challenging, and he was let go, marking one of the shortest managerial stints in the club's recent history. David Moyes started coaching Real Sociedad in Spain back in late 2014, but was let go after a year due to poor results. After that, he became the manager of Sunderland in 2016. This is the time when he made those controversial remarks. On the field, the team didn't do well either, eventually dropping to a lower league, and Moyes left after the season wrapped up. Then he moved on to West Ham United towards the end of 2017. He stepped in during a rough patch, but managed to steer the team clear of relegation. He left once his contract was up, but wasn't gone for long. He was back at the helm by the end of 2019, replacing Manuel Pellegrini. This time around, things looked up. West Ham hit their highest points ever under his watch and even snagged a European trophy. But despite these wins, his style didn't win over everyone, and by May 2024, it was decided he'd leave at the season's end. Moyes has definitely seen his share of ups and downs, but he's always stuck with it. Now, speaking of his personal life, David Moyes comes from a family deeply involved in football. His dad, David Sr., was a scout for Everton and started off coaching at Drumchapel Amateurs, which is also where Moyes began his career. In addition to football, Moyes has commentated for BBC Radio 5 Live during the 2010 FIFA World Cup and co-owns a racehorse. He's also set to join TalkSport's broadcast team for Euro 2024 and will be part of the BBC team for the event. All in all, David Moyes' legacy in football is quite impressive when you break it down. He's the guy who took over Everton when they were often worried about relegation and turned them into a team that consistently fought for top spots and even snagged a spot in the Champions League qualifiers. That's no small feat. Beyond just team results, Moyes has a knack for spotting and nurturing young talent. Remember Wayne Rooney? Moyes was crucial in his early development at Everton. He's always had an eye for helping young players grow, which is something really special in a manager. Sure, he's had his ups and downs, like the tough stint at Manchester United. But the guy never gives up. He keeps coming back, learning and adapting. That kind of resilience and passion for the game really sets him apart. Despite the controversies, you've got to respect his dedication and the positive impact he's had on the clubs he's managed. In conclusion, even though not everyone is a fan of David Moyes, calling him the most hated is probably a bit too dramatic. He's made quite a mark in British and European football, showing his long-lasting impact and skills as a manager. Whether you like him or not, David Moyes is an important figure in football, representing both the great successes and tough challenges of the sport. That's it for today. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more such documentaries. As always, we'll catch up tomorrow. Till then, goodbye and take care.